everyone. What is going on?
What's up, everybody? Come on in. Type something because of the sound. Type something in the chat. I think because if they open the door, it might be hard to hear us. Type something in the chat. Let us know you can hear us. Type something in the chat for us real quick. Hashtag BMC, something like that. Let me see. It's saying swipe left to reveal comments and reactions. Let us know if you can hear us.
All right.
Is it?
Oh, you can hear the music? It's going to be loud, y'all. Sorry.
Is the music, is it loud behind us?
It's loud, but...
Oh, okay.
All right.
What's up?
Yeah, it's gonna be loud. Sorry, guys. But it's okay. Yeah, it's just when they open the door. Yeah, it's gonna be a little louder. So.
Yeah. So, man, we've been running around trying to make this thing work today.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we're gonna wait for a few more people to come on live. Before we, I know we got some people watching right now, so before we jump into the conversation, I wanted to thank everybody for continuously supporting Black Marriage Club. I want to let y'all know about events going on. Now, I might forget the dates, but I want you to know that we're going to be going, let me see, we're going to be in Atlanta. Let me start first, okay? Just some events we got going on. We got Atlanta, August 7th. We got a virtual event. It's like maybe about 50 couples signed up so far. So keep signing up for that. Go to Black Marriage Club. Go to Eventbrite and go to the Black Marriage. If you look in the group, it's a link somewhere. Find it. Search for it. Get in those events. I put out a post telling y'all where we're going to be. So if you go on that thread, you'll be able to find it. But we're going to be in Atlanta, August 7th. We're going to be in Houston, July 24th. Listen, y'all, July 24th, Winning Wives Wednesday. Winning Wives Wednesday is happening in Houston, okay? But it's going to be Winning Wives Sunday, okay? Winning Wives Sunday.
Winning Wives.
It's just going to be a Winning Wives event on July 24th, okay? Yes. There go the link tree. So I'm going to pin this right here. Pin comment. So I have pinned the comment. Let me see. There we go. I have pinned the comment. You can also check the announcements to make sure that you are up to date on everything that's going on with Black Marriage Club. Make sure you follow us on IG, Black Marriage Club. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Black Marriage Club. We are growing on TikTok. We're almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok. So keep following, liking. We're past 4,000 members on IG. We still got to keep that going.
Let's get it.
So please, y'all, make sure y'all follow us on IG, Black Marriage Club, TikTok, Black Marriage Club, and Facebook, Black Marriage Club page. Okay, we got 50,000 people in the group. Let's get those people in the trying to make sure we got the best picture possible. Let's make sure we get all of that traffic going to all of our social sites. A lot of good things are happening. All right. My name is Artist Anderson.
And I'm Zedoria.
And we are the Andersons.
You're not supposed to say your name, Anderson.
Hey, but, you know. Come on, jump in. We on Facebook Live right now. You know. Let everybody know what's happening, y'all. What's happening? Yeah, how you feeling?
This is our CC sister.
Yeah, we just so y'all know, we're in Jersey. We have some family house, and you know we having a good time.
I know that's right.
Listen, we're gonna talk to y'all tonight about how to make marriage work, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. We got people in, we live out here, man. We live.
Sorry, Ashley, girl.
Right?
Yeah, you text me as soon as we went live.
So listen, let's have a real conversation tonight, right? I think it's important that we talk about what makes marriage work, but we also need to talk about why marriages don't last, because that's going to help us understand what makes marriage work. So let's get right into it. I put out a post earlier this week, and the post read like this: the only reason a marriage does not work or last is because one or more persons in the marriage is unwilling to change. I'm going to read that again. The only reason a marriage does not work or last is because one or more persons in the marriage is unwilling to change. Now, the feedback on this post, over 1,000 likes, 400-500 comments. A lot of people was like, true, this is so real, boom, boom. And then you had a lot of people, right, that was saying, nah, that ain't the only reason. Saying things like, why do I have to change? You should have learned that about a person before you got married instead of going into the marriage trying to change them, right? All these different things, right? And
she was like, oh, that's your post?
Yeah, that was my post. Yeah. Right? And so, here's the deal, right? When you get into marriage, in a perfect world, everybody would go to premarital counseling. Everybody would ask 1,000 questions to really make sure you know the person. Everybody would make sure they know the goals and dreams of their spouse. Everybody would do a background check. Everybody would be diligent and responsible and do everything they're supposed to do before they get into the marriage. On top of that, everybody would understand that there's no expectation to change. Everybody would understand that I'm not going to require you to change. Listen, in a perfect world, that would happen. But here is the reality. What I kept telling people in the comments was, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Now let's get into this. What if you did everything you knew to do before you got married, and somewhere along the road, the marriage just hit hard times? Then what? What if you married somebody and you did all the dating and asking all the questions, and then all of a sudden somebody in the marriage, they mature, they grow. Certain things, aren't the same anymore. What happens if you didn't do all your due diligence and you did marry too soon, or you didn't date long enough, or if you ignored the red flags?
That part.
Here's why I was telling people you missed the point of the post. The whole point of the post was to say, making the marriage last, regardless of how it started and regardless of the consequences. Now, I get it. Something that starts off wrong is going to be difficult to make it right. But I'm of the belief that you can make any marriage work if you're willing to change. That was the whole point of the post. Not how we got there, but how are we going to stay there and make it to the end. That was the point of the post. Now let's get into it. Making marriage work long term, you're going to have to be willing to make changes. You're going to have, hold on for the ride. You're going to have to be willing to make changes. This is what I was asking people in the comments. All the people that say you shouldn't have to require your spouse to change. So you mean to tell me, not one time in your entire marriage, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 30 years, 50 years, not in your entire marriage, you have ever had an expectation of your spouse or asked your spouse or wanted your spouse to change something? Really? Come on, y'all. That's not real. Stop it.
Yeah, put in that work.
When you're in a marriage, I am of the mindset that you should not make somebody change or try to change anybody. What I am of the mindset of is you should be willing to change for your spouse to make the marriage work. Why? Because change is the only constant in this entire life. The only thing that remains the same. I know the music is distracting y'all. The only thing that remains the same is change. Change is inevitable. Now, a lot of people were saying in the post, well, you should say grow. You should say mature. Okay, we can get into the semantics. Semantics is basically you're using a different word to say the same thing. Cool. But change is going to happen no matter how much you try not to allow the change to happen.
Yeah.
And if you're not changing or growing or maturing or whatever other word,
your body gonna change.
Right? Things are going to change. Now here is the point I was making with the post, and this is how we're gonna get into why marriages don't last. So many marriages are trying to figure out a few things, right? They're trying to figure out why is my spouse doing this? Why is my spouse cheating? Why is my spouse not coming home? Why is my spouse so rude? Why is my spouse acting different? Why can't we get along? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? You want to know what causes all of these marital issues? It's one thing. The inability to make the changes and the adjustments. When people get stubborn, prideful, arrogant, and they get so stubborn that they're unwilling to change, you're going to run into problems in your marriage. Now, this is the whole key to making the marriage work. See, what I'm trying to get you to understand is this. Why marriage don't work is actually the key to how to make the marriage work. And what I'm telling you is the number one thing you must be willing to do is change. My wife has never tried to change me. And I have never tried to change my wife. Ever.
Well, I think he did, but...
I did. You think? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because it's... But that's the thing.
Y'all about to get it live and direct right now.
A lot of people... Well, I felt... In the beginning of the relationship, I really thought... I tried to compare myself or say that he tried to change me to be like his girlfriends. We were just talking about this last week. Changing him to his girlfriends that he had prior to me. And it wasn't a change, it's more of an upgrade, or me being able to pursue, be in my purpose of who he truly sees me to be. Because a lot of us get in marriages and we don't change, or we don't, like, we change, but we don't realize we change, or we change for the worse instead of changing for the better. And a lot of things that he's taught me, or just being in the marriage, is he's trying to change. He's not trying to change me, but he's trying to make me better. So I was fighting, like, get out of here!
Because she thought I was trying to make her like my exes.
Yeah.
But I saw the potential in her, and I was pushing her to be everything that I knew that she could be.
And a better version of me. Which is like, you know, if you go into a marriage and you're like, the person is saying, oh, I like you the way you are, which is true. Like, he loves me for who I am, but he saw so much more in me that he pushed me to be greater. So even today on the live, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I'm out here in my family and all this stuff, and I'm on here talking to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be out there turned with this music, you know what I'm saying? But because there's a purpose on my life, on our lives, to be here, to be able to sacrifice something, it's allowing me to be like, okay, well, I can sacrifice this time for you guys, for this time, for wherever God is taking us, wherever God is taking you, whatever you need to hear, and just being able to understand that, you know, we all, as a couple, have to be able to push each other and be able to be greater, because I can just be in this place where I'm just like, oh, well, I just want to have fun, I want to do that, but then I'm never pursuing anything that is greater of what my calling is being, right, and what I'm doing right now today.
And granted, there are people who are married to where you don't have to change anything because the vibe is already there. Right. Cool, that's great.
Right.
But there are other marriages out there where you're going to have to make a change to make it work.
Right.
You're going to have to make changes to make it last. Why? Because you didn't have everything you needed in the beginning probably, and you went into it prematurely, and now you're learning and you realize, yo, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know about you. Well, I don't like that. Well, I don't like that. So guess what you got to do? If you want to make it work and make it last, you're going to have to make changes. Y'all, we got to stop being so stubborn that we don't want to change.
Yeah, and the big biggest thing too is like, you know, it's not like you said, the change is not for, it's the betterment of your relationship
and the marriage
and the
family,
everything, like betterment
so what
of
you
your
can't
life.
stay, listen, so what you can't stay out till 3 a.m. So what you can't stay out at the club all night anymore? You change.
But look,
so what?
But look,
make the change so that your wife is happy, so that your husband, so that your family is good. Make the change.
But look, the thing is that even him elevating as my husband is the head, it's also being able to know that I have to elevate as well. But like, I can't stay in my consistent place. I can't be like in that place where we first met. Like, if he's elevating, like, I have to catch up. I have to get there. I have to be able to handle where he's going. So in order for us to do that, in order for that to even, for the marriage to even thrive better and higher than what it's supposed to do, like there has to be a change somewhere. Like, it has to be, period.
Like, it's period. You know what's crazy? It's like so many people are unwilling to change. And it's like, yo, we're not telling you to change who you are as a person. We're saying make the necessary changes and adjustments about you so that the marriage can work in the season that you're in, because you're growing, you're evolving. Things are going to change.
Yeah.
People are going to have expectations that evolve and change as you get. For example, I'm all business. I'm all work. Mm-hmm. Just business. Like, yo, what we doing? What you mean? Family, party. Yo, what?
We gotta do this.
We gotta do this. So let me talk about how my wife helped change me, because I was willing to change. This pride and this stubbornness, I'm telling y'all now, it ain't gonna never make your marriage is never gonna work when you're prideful and stubborn. So what if your spouse is trying to change you? Would you just be humble enough to sit down and listen to see if it's a good change?
That's the part. Humble
yourself.
That part, and I think that's a lot with people when it comes to marriage.
Oh, let me finish what I was saying. So I'm all work, right? Sorry, real quick. I'm all work before I forget.
I might forget.
I'm all work. I was gonna forget, so that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm all work, right? My wife had to help me see that there has to be a fun balance. Mm-hmm. My wife, early in our relationship, she made me realize that, yo, I can't just do work. I gotta have some fun. And so I had to realize, yo, I'm gonna have to make some changes. You know, we're gonna have to, like this year, we've been traveling more than ever. You know, we went on our first honeymoon. You know, finally.
Our first honeymoon.
Yeah, we will have more, right?
More honeymoons.
You know, vacation probably rather. I had to be willing to go out and have more fun and start working all the time, right? I had to be willing to show my feet and not always wear socks. I had to be willing to, like, I just had to be willing to be more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? I had to be willing to be more intimate. I had to be willing, like all these things she helped change. She helped me make the changes with, because it betters the marriage. Mm-hmm. Y'all, when I saw the comments in the post, I understand where people are coming from, but here's what I'm trying to get you to see. First of all, you can never say that you never asked your spouse to change something. That's number one. Number two, if the change is going to help make the marriage work, for example, you might be a very negative person, or you might be smart with the mouth, and your spouse is saying, yo, you need to change that. If your response is, why are you trying to change me? Because this marriage ain't gonna work if you keep getting smart with me. Because the marriage ain't gonna work if you keep, like, being disrespectful. Like, what we have to realize is, at the end of the day, do you want to make the marriage work or not? And that's what we're really talking about here. The things. Oh, wait, I know you was about to say something. Did you forget?
Yes.
I know.
I
my
told
bad.
you I was.
My bad.
I should have wrote it down.
But let me talk about this next point real quick. Another reason why marriages don't work and why relationships don't last, okay? Number one, unwilling to change. Number two, pride, ego, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. Now, you might not know if you're prideful or not, but let me tell you, prideful people are unwilling to move and change and adjust. That's stubbornness, right? But here's the third reason. Ignorance. Mm-hmm. You're unwilling to make the change because you're ignorant, or you just really don't know why you need to make the change. You good?
Not really, but
she's adjusting to the seat.
Yeah.
You don't know why you need to change, right? And you don't know how the change is really going to help you, okay? Or you don't have the tools needed to actually learn how to navigate the marriage, right, as it pertains to making the change. And that's why a lot of marriages don't work. But that's also how you make the marriage work. Y'all, I hear people all the time. So we are the owners of Forever Love, right? We are the in-house counseling and consultant relationship firm for Black Marriage Club. So we do premarital counseling, we do singles counseling, we do couples counseling, we do marriage counseling. One of the things that I often see is people don't know what they're doing. Y'all, and because of their pride and their arrogance, they aren't willing to admit it, especially my men. Men, listen to me. Men, fellas, come on, let's have a heart-to-heart, fellas. Come on, man, let's have a heart-to-heart. So many men, not all, but so many men really don't know how to handle a lot of things. And a lot of times the culture or community that we grew up in, they have made us leery or, hesitant about marriage counseling. Now, one of the things in our marriage counseling sessions, I approach it very differently. That's why we have such a high success rate. Because the point is, we have to figure out what's it going to take to make your marriage work.
Yeah.
Not everybody's,
but
yours. And so we get into a very individual, personal, one-on-one or two-on-two, to however session you set up, right? To really figure out how to get you where you want to be. It's not about what's really going on. It's about why you can't get past what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not about what you're going through. It's about why can't you get past what you're going through.
Yeah.
And what you'll realize is the moment you can get past what you're going through, you can make it work.
Right.
Right? But if your pride won't let you forgive, if your pride and your arrogance won't let you let stuff go, if you always changing the subject to a new problem, a new issue, a new thing, you're never going to get anywhere. Right? So when I talk about pride and ego, that's what I mean. But when I talk about ignorance, that's also what I mean. You're ignorant to how you are causing the issues. See, we love to point the finger. We love to point the finger to the other spouse. But I'm telling you, you need the tools to learn how to handle your marriage as it pertains to you. As it pertains to you, you need to know how to navigate a marriage. Even when you're not the problem, you need to know what to do. And if you don't have the tools, the marriage is going to keep struggling, because what happens is, if you're not the problem in the marriage and all you do is point the finger and you don't know how to really deal with it because you don't know the tools, then the marriage is just not going to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes the person who isn't the problem have to be the solution to the answers of the problem in the marriage. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the person who is not the problem has to learn the tools so that they can be the solution to why the marriage will work long term. Mm-hmm. Okay? Appreciate it, Toya. Love you. Love you, sis. Sometimes in the marriage, the other person is unwilling to do the work to make it work. And you can't do anything without two parties.
No.
But there is something that the willing party can do in the meantime, and that's where the counseling comes in. Yeah. And that's where we help people figure it out, because we got the tools necessary to make this thing work, right? I know we hear a lot of time, hey, we've been to marriage counseling and it didn't work. Let me tell you why a lot of marriage counseling don't work. Number one, it's not the right fit for you. Number two, a lot of times in our culture, people have to deal with things from a clinical perspective. And that's okay. But sometimes you got to deal with the humanity of the person. Yeah. And that's what we love to specialize in. You're married to a person, not a robot. There's always a reason. There's always a reason why somebody is doing what they're doing. And we have to figure out what that reason is. And sometimes you're not able to talk to the person, and you need somebody to come in and navigate the conversation. You need somebody to translate the conversation. Now, I'm giving y'all too much for free. But listen, real quick.
She said, I don't know if you remember what you said.
All right, we're going to have to get the playback.
Yeah,
but look, listen.
When he goes on,
we don't have a lot of time.
When he goes on, he'll be...
Right?
I'm sorry.
Another reason why the marriage doesn't work, the misses, right? I want my wife to read this all. The misses. The misses. What's number 1?
Misery.
Misery. Number 2?
Misunderstanding.
Number 3?
Miscommunication.
Number 4?
Mistreatment.
Number 5?
Mismanagement.
Number 6?
Mistakes.
Number 7?
Misleading.
Number 8?
Mistakes.
Number 9?
Mistrust.
I said mistakes twice.
I'm about to say
Misinterpretation. A mistress. Listen. The misses. It's too many misses in your marriage. There's too many misses in your marriage, and we got to navigate on how to deal with the misses. Now, everything I'm telling you as it pertains to why the marriages don't last, hint, hint, that's also the answer as to how to make the marriage work. Let's eliminate the unwillingness to change.
Yeah.
Let's eliminate the pride and ego. Let's eliminate ignorance and get knowledgeable. Let's get knowledgeable of what it means to be in marriage and relationship. Number 4, we need to eradicate the misses. It's too many misses, right?
And misses is what gets you divorced, what gets you separated, what gets you away. You ever think about it like somebody that comes into the marriage?
Yes.
It gets in the way. I don't
Yes.
know,
No, all of it. 'Cause we just got to have a real dialogue. The reality is this. Making your marriage work begins with you being willing. You got to be willing. If your spouse asks something of you and it's really important to them, before you just say no and blame them about trying to change you, how about you sit down with them in humility and say, let's talk about this.
And the reason why, because a lot of people like the reason why, if you communicate or have that conversation, like say for instance, like we were saying earlier with Marlon, like he artist, who are you?
She knows my real name.
Just by him, like just talking to him, and like he's not trying to like not change. It's the fact of we had to communicate. Like, I don't like that you keep telling me that I gotta do this, or I don't like that it's gotta be like this. Why do I have to do that? But I'm asking these questions so that I can understand why. And once he was able to relate or show me, like, I see this in you, or I see this part of that, or I see, because he is my seer in the relationship, in the marriage. So him being able to see beyond what I'm seeing in front of me versus seeing it in my feelings, I'm able to like allow that thing to really take me to where I need to be. So I think it's so much like that communication piece that we all miss out on.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we get in our feelings so much, especially us as women. It's like, I don't care, who are you to be telling me that I need to like, you can go see Bam Bam over there or Jacquisha or whoever if you want to make it work like that. But I think the thought of being able to understand that he married you. You know, ladies, like, he married you for a reason. And if he's saying, hey, I may want you to put on a thong once a week, put that thong on, okay? Because he want to get some. You know what I'm saying? He want to see his woman nice. He want to see the little cute little booty jiggle. Even if you ain't got no booty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He want to see he married that non-booty. So just be okay with that.
And fellas, if she's asking you to be more romantic, to take her out, or to do different things, be willing to make the change.
Right.
Making your marriage work is about the number one thing, just one thing, a willingness to listen and hear the partner out about what they need.
Yeah.
Now, let me say this. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you are trying to communicate what you need, and you're loud, and you're disrespectful, and you're fed up and you're rude, and I get it. You tired, you fed up. So now at this point, you just yelling and you're frustrated because they're not listening. But here's the point I want to make. You got to be willing to change your attitude, your temper. Listen, let me give you a scenario. Let's just say you've been trying to communicate with your spouse for a long time about things you want changed or adjusted because you need this to make to make the marriage work. Even if you get frustrated and fed up, your attitude and yelling ain't gonna never make it better. You have to learn another way to communicate it. You have to find the right time to communicate it.
Definitely.
And if you don't know how to do that, you know what I mean? Oh, you good?
Yeah.
No, you good. You know, you have to find the time. You have to find a way to make it. You have to find a way to communicate it. in our counseling sessions, we teach people how to communicate one message multiple different ways, 10, 20 different ways. And there's always a way to do it. But here's something that came to mind too, that Z made me remember. I wrote something down earlier, and it said, because the thing is, I want to touch real quick before we end this live. Marriages, what makes marriage work is communication.
Yeah.
What happens is people wait till they're frustrated to actually communicate.
Right.
People wait till they're angry to actually communicate. They wait till something happens to communicate. But the problem is you've wanted this thing changed or adjusted, or you wanted to talk about this for a long time. And your spouse may have put it off. Your spouse may be like dismissive. They may be tired. That's fine. Cool. We can't cover everything in one session, but I want to say this one piece. Everybody says you got to learn to communicate, right? Everybody says you got to learn how to comprehend the communicate.
Yes, Linda.
Yes, Linda, we do virtual counseling.
Yes.
Go to the announcements and you'll see our information.
Yes.
Appreciate you. The thing is this, and also just let everybody know, we do couples counseling together. So husband and wife with husband and wife. That way there's a balance there if that's what you so choose. There is a service there on our website, www.tryforeverlove.com, if you want to book a session with just me and my wife, so we can have some dialogue and figure some things out. But our generation is now saying you just got to communicate. You got to learn to communicate. You got to learn to communicate. It's all about communication. You got to comprehend it. Y'all, I'm telling you now, people don't know how to communicate because they never learned. So you could tell somebody how to communicate. You could tell somebody they need to communicate,
right, but
you need to teach them how to communicate.
Right.
Now, that's something we can help you with as well.
Yeah, we talked about that last week too. Just
www.tryforeverlove.com. Tryforeverlove.com. What you was about to say?
Oh, no, I was just saying that's what we were talking about last week. Like, we try to put these expectations on people or our spouse when, communication was one of them. Like, you telling them, oh, you need to communicate, but then you're not showing them how to communicate. So yeah. I think that's the biggest thing too.
Also, I'm gonna pin it right now. Also, y'all.
Thank you, LaToya.
Let me tell you why communication don't work half the time for marriages that are struggling. It's because the marriage gets to a point. Oh man, we give y'all all sorts of free information. It's all good. Shout out to Black Marriage Club.
Yes.
Listen, here's why communication tends to fail when your relationship and marriage is struggling. We're going to get off here soon because her knee is hurting, right? We got to get out of here. Here's why. When the marriage has tension and when there's built up aggression and when there's a lot of problems, etc. in your marriage, the communication is muddy. Mm-hmm. It's very muddy. You don't translate what's being said clearly. You don't hear what's being intended to say. The intention of your spouse's heart goes out the window when they don't say the right words, in the right sentence, in the right tone, the right way, at the right time. And what happens is that creates more problems and that creates more issues as to why the marriage struggles in communication. So why is marriage counseling important? Because you need somebody that's going to help you translate the message to your spouse, because they are not hearing it clearly. And in our sessions, that's what we tend to do often. And so listen, it's not about us. This is about y'all. In order to make your marriage work, you have to be willing. You have to be willing to make changes. I know it's people out there, I ain't changing for nobody. Why I got to change? Everybody changes. All change ain't bad. You
change for your job.
You change for your
You change around your grandma.
You change
around your mama.
Your church.
You
change.
Listen, you change.
You change.
You change around your kids.
But you don't want to change for your wife. Or your husband. Or your kids. Or your family. Or to make your marriage work. Come on, y'all. We got to stop this. This is foolishness.
Hey.
We change for everything but our family. Stop it. We need to stop this foolishness. We got to stop the foolishness, y'all. Men, we got to stop, y'all. We got to be accountable. It's okay to make changes. Change is a good thing. I wrote this down earlier. My wife made me reminded me of that. I wrote it down. Right? What we see happen often in communication is the response overtakes the actual problem. And this is what I mean, and then we got to go. when you're talking to somebody and you're sharing an issue you have, their response to you takes over the actual issue.
Yeah.
So now you don't even get to talk about the actual problem. Now you're just going back and forth about the response that led to another issue, that led to another issue, that led to another issue. And before you know it, you're not even talking about the first issue that was brought up. But here's the point. To make your marriage work, you got to be willing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do a part 2. We're going to have to do a part 2. But before we get out of here, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Before we get out of here, okay, go to www.tryforeverlove.com. Book us. Let's get this thing going. Let us help your marriage. But most importantly, Black Marriage Club has a lot of great things happening. And we're about to start this new thing where we are doing couples of the week. So listen, inbox and send your photos and a little snippet about yourself, how you met, your marriage, to the Black Marriage Club Facebook page, not the group, but send your message and picture to the page, and we're going to select a couple of the week every Sunday on our live, and we're going to shout you out and highlight you. I want to get into the couple of the week real quick. I'm going to let you know, she sent this post. Her name is Faye Taylor. Her name is Faye Taylor. Shout out to the Taylors. They've been married over 60 years in this January coming up.
Good God.
60. Shout out to them for making marriage work.
For real.
And making it last.
Black marriage.
And I can promise you they had to make some changes in their marriage to make it last. We got some BMC events coming up. Check the Eventbrite. On July 24th, we got the Winning Wives Brunch. August 7th, we got the Atlanta virtual event. August 29th, we got the DMV event. August 7th, we also got the Las Vegas launch. Go to the BMC Eventbrite. Go to the announcements in the BMC page. BMC Facebook group. Go to the announcements. Yo, buy your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
We are the Andersons. We own Forever Love. We own Forever Love. TryForeverLove.com. Appreciate BMC for the partnership.
Yes,
we're gonna do great things. We love y'all. We gotta get out of here because we gotta get on the road. We're gonna do we gotta do a What Makes Marriage Work Part 2. We gotta do that probably next week.
Y'all wanna do that?
We're gonna see.
Let us know.
Love y'all. See y'all soon.
Love y'all.